Hey Alan, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Kieran.
Today we want to speak about John Deasy. John Deasy was a well-known politician there in Waterford, an extremely corrupt politician, a politician that has really screwed over a lot of people there over the years and got away with it. Pretty vile man in many, many ways. But we want to speak about what we're going to expose over the next 5 videos regarding John Deasy.
Well, one of them would be, I think, to do with planning and the interference in planning. Just basically the planning structure. We need to speak about that. Different things that he has been directly and indirectly involved in, and this another one would be the implications surrounding the international intelligence conferences in King John's Castle in Dungarvan, where they twinned Mercyhurst in Erie in the US with the Friary School in Dungarvan. And
There was also
basically bringing people in to speak that were accused of predatory behavior in the US, and where then when we would put out leaflets to try and bring people's attention to it, the guards were basically used as a private security force to try and stop this, to censor it outside the school in the Friary, when we were trying to put mothers and fathers on notice that their children may be in danger of predators being brought into Dungarvan by political mandated people that should be upholding the Constitution to prevent this from happening to our children. But then, of course, we're coming back into the planning, all this planning, and the interference in people seeking their rightful position of defence to stand against planning corruption. And yes, there's a number of things there that we're going to be speaking about.
Yeah, we also want to touch base again on the organised crime connection then from between Galway and again with John Deasy, with the people that were involved in that. Also, want to look at and speak about his time in the US, about again that what he was actually doing when he was being paid by the Irish taxpayers, I guess. He's
living in America at the time, yes, and not turning up for Dáil appearances, yes.
At the same time, living with his transsexual lover in Washington D.C.
I didn't know about that, but
yeah. So
married man.
There's lots to speak about John. Again, there he's just another very, very corrupt politician. But anyway, I just wanted to touch on what we will be releasing about over the next week regarding John Deasy.
What you said about that just there about the transsexual connections, it's most concerning when you have this connection to Mercyhurst then being brought in to infiltrate a public school called the Friary in Dungarvan. It's most concerning. It's disturbing. It's incomprehensible. But we also must speak about the media connections in the Dungarvan Observer, where these political driven character assassinations on people by these journalists, who are supposed to be they're supposed to be independent. They're supposed to be independent journalists that report on things transparently, independently, but they're not. They're being very carefully driven
Well,
by the political interference, political influence.
well, I think at this stage there's more freedom in the press in North Korea than what you have in Ireland at this stage.
Yes.
The media in Ireland is done and dusted. I mean, again, it's being clear, and you see some of the revelations that were released there with the last couple of weeks. Every single media outlet in Ireland is on the government payroll. And of course, all they have to do is continue to follow the narrative. What's going on in Ireland is absolutely disgusting. And if you look at the problems that we're constantly exposing now, from the rapes, the tortures, the murders, I mean, the list goes on. It's a mile long. And of course, you have, a lot of these names again, of these individuals we spoke about, are all tied again to Deasy, the Gassan and the Daly and all these despicable characters, again, that are directly connected to this man. Daly himself, there is without a doubt, Daly's a serial killer. Again, not a member of the Garda Síochána. You have corrupt politicians. The whole thing, as you scrape back on the surface, you start to realize how bad the entire system is, how corrupt it is. When victims are coming forward with problems, they're being taken advantage of. In many cases, they're being even hurt even more by the people that should be protecting them, from the politicians to the Gardaí. Again, there's zero protection for any of these people. But I guess that'll be for part 3 or 4 or 5, I guess, of this.
It's state-sponsored organized crime. That's what it is.
100%. I mean, what really saddened me and shocked me, right? I always knew Ireland was a corrupt country. I mean, I was well aware of that. You could see that growing up in Ireland, that Ireland was really, really corrupt. But when you start really just scraping the surface, you start to realize how bad it actually is. And of course, I have traveled all over the world with my company and worked all over the world. And when I look at some of these countries that have a reputation of being extremely corrupt, the likes of Nigeria or Mexico or whatever, they're not a patch on Ireland. Ireland has perfected corruption. I mean, it is something that has been completely perfected by our government, by multiple different governments. And of course, democracy in Ireland is gone. I mean, it's completely gone. We have a two-party dictatorship that's going to be in power indefinitely. And of course, that is...
Well, I've been writing up some documents for you. So basically, one is definitely the infiltration to access children in the whole Munster region, as far as I'm concerned, but basically headquartered in King John's Castle in Dungarvan. And Dungarvan is a main place where these people seem to congregate in, because they had the most advanced internet infrastructure placed into Dungarvan, called the Black Ring. And this was for intelligence gathering on basically the whole of the country. And people don't realize, you see, or they didn't realize back then, what you can now see now with the implications of all this ID, identification, electronic, etc., because they can literally track you. As an ex-superintendent said to me when they tried to commandeer my businesses in Galway to basically run money launder for the ex-Garda cash fund, as he put it, there would be no place that I would be able to go that they wouldn't be able to find me, and I would be found dead down the laneway. So coming back to Mr. John Deasy, my father knew who Augustine Deasy was, and there's history there as well, of that. So we will go into that eventually, maybe. But the main things that I think we should go into here is first of all, we need to let people know what this intelligence conference really is, and the connections that basically tie it in then with something that's nefarious behind it. And that was to threaten the safety and security of our children. Okay, because this network is across the whole of the country, but it's based out of the Munster region, being in Dungarvan. And then also we have the planning issues to look into. And we need people to come forward that have had any stuff linked to any planning. For instance,
Well, listen, on that note, we'll end this call, and we shall be speaking over the next few days and releasing these in 5 separate parts. Again, like, to expose exactly who John Deasy is, and let the Irish people decide after that what they think of this despicable character.
And let's expose his little hitman in the journalist that was used to work in the Dungarvan Observer, that's now basically after pulling up a position in the Munster Express in Waterford.
Yeah, Munster Express,
because
another newspaper that's on the Irish government payroll.
Yes, and basically let's implicate him with where he's connected to a man that was eventually prosecuted for being, again, a sex offender.
Yeah. Okie dokie. On that note, let's speak later. Thank you.